All right, we are back. Today is Wednesday, and we're talking to athletes who are competing at Leap Fest, and we're just spotlighting the athletes who are competing, talking about to do all these things. And we have a special guest today. It's Gabrielas Sandoval of the Alpha Speed Academy out of Washington, and I'm going to bring her on right now. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome. So again, what we're doing is kind of introducing the athletes to the other athletes, athletes to coaches, and letting them know that all talent, all abilities are coming to Leap Fest from the national level to the local level, and I want them to kind of get an idea of who you are, what you represent, and pretty much your story. So talk about yourself.
Okay. Well, I started track about fourth grade, and I've been doing it ever since then. I didn't really take it serious until about seventh grade when I joined the Flying AJs. And since then, I've been very dedicated to it. I've been exposed to a lot of different people, a lot of different track meets, and it's given me the opportunity to travel a lot more than I would have if I have never started it. But honestly, it's been a lot of fun. I love doing it. I love my team too as well, Alpha Speed Academy, and it's allowed me to come and be closer to a lot of people.
Yeah. So when you started in fourth grade, what got you into track and field?
My dad, he's always loved track. He's been doing it. He did it when he was in high school, so he had me starting it, and yeah, he had me do it. So, and then he just kept me doing it until I was ready to make the decision to continue by myself.
And when was that decision?
That was seventh grade when I joined the team.
Okay. And so what events did you start out with? What's your passion now within the events? What's going on?
I started out with pretty much everything besides distance. I did like the 50 meters, what they had in elementary school, 200, long jump, shot put. But now I prefer not to run. I still run, but I do triple jump mainly, long jump. I'll run the 100, 200, things like that.
Okay. And so going from the Flying AJs to Alpha Speed is obviously it's a family unit between the two.
Yes.
Talk about that dynamic there, and also talk about your high school experience so far with track.
Switching over from AJs to Alpha Speed, there wasn't much of a difference besides how it was ran behind the scenes. So it kind of feels the same coaches, same people pretty much. It's just ran a little bit more smooth. My high school experience, I only know right now running at Gig Harbor High School. The track coach there, he's a very good, well-educated track coach. And it was a lot different because I was used to different types of meets than high schools ran. But having that under my belt it made it a lot easier for me to go into high school and that experience. But I'd say it's a different but the same as club.
Yeah. And so obviously you've been at the national level with USATF, and how is that compared to when you bring that type of experience into high school? How does that make you more knowledgeable, or what does it do for you?
Well, a lot of people I would notice they would be nervous for their meets. Me competing at the national level, previous to that, I was able to know how to deal with the stress or the nerves of going into other meets. I knew kind of what I would like to hear, so I would bring that to other people. Just having that experience helped a lot with knowing how to cope with the stress or the nervousness that people tend to have.
Yeah. So what would be probably two main tips that you would give freshman jumpers who are coming in to their very first track season coming up the next few months?
Honestly, I would say music helps me a lot. It
Okay.
distracts me from thinking. So if you're able to listen to music while you warm up, then I would say do that. Or kind of just talk to yourself, set goals, what you want to do, and just know that you've been practicing and you know what you're doing, and now it's just time to let it out, let it
Yeah.
go. Mhm.
So how was it working with Coach Nate? You know, he's developed a lot of great talent, not just from the area, but national and Olympic level athletes. What type of coach are you receiving that he is, and just talk about him, I guess, a little bit.
Nate, he's funny. He's a little short guy, and I love having him as a coach because we both struggled with our heights throughout jumping. So he's able to relate to me and
Mhm.
give me tips on how he kind of overcame his height type thing. And so, but him as a coach, he's always laughing, having fun, joking around with us. But when it's time to be serious, that we still respect him and as a coach. So um, I'd say he's a really good coach. He is able to explain things and much in different ways to that we're able to understand it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love having him as a coach, and he's
And
also a
so,
friend.
and I think that's probably the most important part is having a coach that you respect off the track as well. And, you know, calling him a friend means a lot because that means that there's that understanding and you're going to work harder for him and he'll work harder for you and et cetera. That's a great dynamic.
Yeah.
So you're coming out to League Fest, you and a lot of your teammates.
Mm-hmm.
What was one of the deciding factors to come out, to California and to come to League Fest?
Definitely the weather. In Washington, we're used to rain all the time,
Yeah.
and indoor season is just known as being indoor. But now that we've been training and we're going to be able to do it outdoor in a lot better conditions, we're definitely excited to see what we can do at this time of year with better conditions. Also, just being in California and
Yeah.
traveling as a team. And one thing I really like about Leap Fest is the fact that it's just jumping, so everyone who's there enjoys jumping. So it's not so like that's one of the main focuses, and also all the colleges coaches that are going to be there.
Yeah. That's what I try to create, that environment, and it's not that many times you can have hundreds of people within feet of you that understand what you're doing, you
Yeah.
know. So what's the typical reaction when you say, I'm a jumper, and then when you explain what triple jump is to them, like what are their reactions when you say that?
They're always very surprised. They never really understand. So I just show them pretty much, and then
Okay.
they're like, how do you do that? How do you, so I think to people who don't triple jump, it's seen as very complicated, but once you do it, it's like, it's not as complicated as it seems, but people are always like surprised to hear.
Yeah. And so obviously it's January, so we've only had so many weeks of actual jump training. Um, what's, I guess, the goal for Leap Fest? What do you plan on getting out of it? And then what's your goal for the season? So by the end of May, June.
So my goal for Leap Fest, I definitely want a PR because at the end of last season, that's when I started improving a lot, and then fortunately it came to an end when Nationals was over, so I was never able to keep going with my progress. But as we've been training, everyone's saying that I'm becoming a lot better, so I'm excited to see what like people are talking about, seeing and showing them that I can do it. And honestly, this year for the end of the season, I'm just hoping to jump high at least to 37, which is going to be a big improvement because
Yeah.
I haven't been jumping close to that, but I know I can do it, and everyone around me is encouraging me and believes in me. So.
And so how has it been balancing out just the mental side of it? You're with a program that develops great athletes all the time. And so you're kind of expected to be as good as they are, right?
Yeah.
So how do you balance that mental state and keep that leveled?
The connections that I have, honestly, because I train with a lot of the really athletes. So it's at first it was kind of like, oh, they're better than me, but then once we'd go along, it was more of, okay, we're friends and we're encouraging each other, and hearing them talk about their success just makes me even more hungry for mine, and we kind of just bounce off of each other. So it's kind of just having those people close to you,
Yeah.
understand what they're doing.
So this PR 37s, right? You're talking about.
Yeah.
What is that going to feel like? Like, what's going to be a celebration dance? What are you going to do when you hit those marks?
I know I might cry. It's just I've always wanted to just keep going further and further, and my coach has always believed in me, and my dad, he believes in me a lot, and my mom, and just everyone around me knows that I can do it. So once I'm able to do it, then it's kind of like I'm giving them their confirmation that them believing in me was for a purpose. And for me, I'm just, I don't know, excited to jump further than I ever have.
Yeah. And so you're a junior this year. And so what's the ultimate goal? Are you planning on taking this through college? Where do you see yourself in the next 3-4 years?
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping to continue jumping in college. I'm hoping to get a scholarship to whatever school I can, help pay for my degree, because I want to go into nursing, and it's very tedious, and so whatever I can get from that. And also, I love jumping. It's very fun to me. It's kind of like a let loose. So to continue jumping in college would be amazing.
And so obviously, say you meet all these goals, you go pro, you live out your professional career, then what specifically is nursing to you? What does it mean to you? What's the backing behind that?
Well, my mom's a nurse, and seeing her do it, it's always interested me, because she would take me along, and I've always been interested in the body, how it works, and it's just something that I've always known I've kind of wanted to do, and it's one of the things that interests me. So
I can already tell that you're a very analytical jumper. You think a lot.
Yes.
So how do you deal with being a perfectionist and wanting everything to be exactly how it's supposed to be?
Well, for my height, I have to perfect my technique, because I can't get away with a lot of the stuff. So I've kind of always progressed as perfecting my technique, and it's kind of, I just take it step by step, perfecting each step. So once I do that, it's more of just seeing it all come together is what makes it worth it.
Nice. Okay, so tell us one of your most memorable track and field stories.
Definitely at state. I made it to all 3 events in state, and I wasn't really meant to, I guess. No one really expected me to. So when it was during state for triple jump and I made it to finals, everyone was very surprised, and I was surprised with myself and very happy. And at that point, it was kind of like I have nothing to lose, so kind of just go out there and have fun. So my last jump, I jumped a PR, and I could just hear everyone screaming my name, and it was it felt good, because all the work I've been putting in paid off, and that was definitely very memorable for me, something I'll never forget.
Nice. That's got to be a good feeling, the last jump, and you're already in this place of, hey, I'm already doing it. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the other side, what's your most embarrassing track and field memory?
Ooh, definitely it was the meet before state. I was long jumping, and I kind of fell into the pit. That was pretty embarrassing. I have a lot of embarrassing stories of falling, like out of the blocks, things like that. Those type of things are the most embarrassing.
So you were also part of the relay team. So obviously with the relay team, the goal is to get the maximum amount of speed and progress each track meet. How do you balance the speed that you're bringing in on the runway now for a triple jump? Because a lot of jumpers is control, but how do you balance that new speed each week you're getting from sprints?
It was a struggle for me last year. I had to shorten my approach because I wasn't able to control my speed when I was jumping. So I would shorten my approach and then kind of get a feel for it. And as I became more confident, I would extend my approach and come down faster. So I think the more you get used to the feeling comes muscle memory, the easier it is to control with your speed.
Nice. And then, so a few athletes been talking about it already, but they're kind of like organized their outfits for Elite Fest. Do you have any like unique gear that you're going to be wearing for Elite Fest?
Yeah, well, with Alpha Speed, we've gotten a lot of cool gear, and we're all going to be matching with our all red jumpsuit.
Okay.
And we're getting all backpacks, and I'm excited to see how
Some
people.
backpacks? Can I get the backpack?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Now, last question, I guess, is what would you tell the athletes who are intimidated with the event? You know, there are some athletes that are just beginning, and they're like, I want to go there, but these national level athletes and people come from out of state, from Texas and Washington, it's too much. What would you say to them when it comes down to just bringing down the fear of competing at this stage?
I would say just have fun. You're not there to stress, because stressing isn't going to do anything good for you. So just to have fun, enjoy your moment. There's going to be a lot of times ahead that you're going to be given opportunities. So just get it under control, and honestly just have fun with it.
Perfect. Well said. Well, we're very appreciative you guys are coming out. I'm excited to meet you in person and watch you jump, probably from a short approach, but still jump far and really have fun.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right.
it.
Well, I will see you guys soon.
You as well.
Okay.